and what is really happening and why we won't be here when they come out.
6 foot and
And that video went worldwide, actually.
I
actually
remember seeing it.
Actually know me. It's really weird. But it was God. That
high school baseball
video God
She was a
took.
pitcher.
Wow.
And
5'7",
it was like
very well
a
put
cry
together,
out
has
to
been
the world.
thrown
I
all
didn't
the girls
know
grew
it
up
was going to
playing
actually
softball.
go to the world,
All of
but
them
it did.
Amazing.
And then
Della
those
never made the
funds
turn.
saved
She-
my bar.
we started out with
and I'm
baseball,
still here, and it's
and
why
all
I
the kids
still
converted
fight.
that
And
way
there,
to go play in,
you would
in
think
high
that
school
after
and stuff like
COVID.
that. She never converted.
That was
She
like
kept
a
throwing the
war,
baseball. By the
right?
time she
It's
was
like
about
it's
15
over,
years
it's
old,
done.
she had a
No,
curve.
it's just
And
begun.
something,
It gets worse and worse and worse.
You think it would
Somewhere
have
around
woken
her, I
up a
have a
lot of
picture.
people, and
You would
still,
think.
I think some people did wake up.
I have a picture of her receiving
but not enough. And
Right
I
side,
do
there's this
remember
huge
seeing that. I mean,
cornbread
this is the
husky
first
kid on
time
the right. Left side is this
I'm
big
meeting
black
you,
kid.
but I do
Yeah.
remember
There in the
seeing
middle
that, and I'm like, oh my
of
goodness, this is just so
holding
insane
this
that they can
trophy,
have their
this little
movie
Della
studio
Romano.
with all their
She made
catering
the
and
The
everything.
sad
everything.
thing
made the
is
squad for
like,
the friendship
you know,
games, which took place between
when I had
US and
talked
Canada
to
last year.
you, David,
She's
about
now
coming in and
25
talking
or
about
26
at that
and
time,
hadn't played
you
ball
know,
in several
what was
years.
going on
She's
with the
still went
$20
up,
an
tried
hour
out, made
minimum
squad.
wages.
Kid can
Small
throw.
businesses,
Yeah, so.
businesses in general are under siege. They literally want
Baseball
us
is
out
brutal.
of business. And the attacks continue. And sometimes I look
Brother
back and think
caught her till he was about
it's worse than
And after
before
that, he said,
COVID.
"I can't do this."
I mean, they are putting everything like insurance.
What are
Our
they doing
insurance
about,
liability has gone from 16,000 to 40,000. Workman's comp. A friend of mine, she just got her renewal, 16,000 to
The Oscars are
44,000 with
tonight.
no
You get to
claims
mention
on it.
that there was people
The
having
inflation on the food.
because
Yes,
of the
what
riots.
what they
$20 an
did
hour
with the
minimum
AB
wage.
was the AB5 bill.
Yeah,
That I mean, it's people are like with the
know,
movie
it's
studios and
pretty
the
delicious 'cause you got all
entertainment,
these lefties
the drivers,
that are
the
having to
Uber
leave their
drivers,
limo.
the AB bill
Yeah.
struck a lot of people,
Yeah.
and I kind of think it did
you
kind
know,
of wake up
sooner
people
or
a little
later,
bit in
you know
those
the
industries
left.
because a lot of times those industries don't get hit like the movie studios in that way.
some of the best
But I think
TV
it did wake up people.
is
But I think unfortunately it's the media. The media is not reporting this stuff.
There,
Yeah.
nobody, because they're very strategic in
It
how
is
it's
fun
going.
to
So they
watch.
create
watch,
labor laws
these
that are
little-
supposed to be good
this
for
little segment. It
everybody.
looks like I think
And they
it's
make it very
Australian
easy for you to be sued. Even if
Australian
the
TV
employee's lying,
or-
they get a free attorney.
or New
Yeah.
Zealand.
You got to pay for an
Lefties
attorney,
lose
right? And it costs hundreds of thousands to go to court.
It's like
That's
funniest
one
thing
area.
to do is put
Then you have the
lefties
ADA coming in.
eating this up
They get a
alive.
free attorney, and the attorneys
so
actually
much what they do
send
has no
people in
logic
knowing
to
they
it.
can make money off of
Yeah,
you.
well, what do they call it? The PAGA
This is We
lawsuits,
Are
public
Breitbart. You can do what you
public
do, whether
attorney
you like that
general
as a news
lawsuits.
source.
Right.
Please
Every day. Like they're coming after small businesses for not having their website ADA, right, compliant. And we laugh, but as a
having
small
fun.
business,
Yeah.
This is-
You
we're
have to take it
barely
serious.
making
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and we can't afford an
when-
attorney, and then
when
we
the
have to pay
news
out,
has to be-
right?
Yeah, because that's what they say. You know, either you pay us or we're going to go ahead and
Right.
and we'll file suit.
Right, and then they unleash the homeless. They unleash the crime to the point that the liability insurance is, they're dropping everybody and leaving
It's
California.
crazy.
But she
There
is,
is 717
she's a
restaurants
hot spit English.
from January to October robbed. Right,
looks so very
717.
happy.
That's just from last year, January to October.
Very
15 people
The
arrested,
politicians-
not one person in jail.
It's
not
just crazy. The politicians right now that are in charge are undermining the citizens, and that's
Yes.
what people need to understand. They're undermining the citizens.
Yes.
They're doing everything to make it hard for us to have a decent standard of living, and that's why it is so important to go out and vote. Vote for
So
people
important.
that want you to have your money. You know,
And
not people that
remember,
want to take your money.
There's a great book called George Washington, the Entrepreneur. And George Washington, the reason why we had the Revolutionary War is exactly because of what they're doing right now.
Yes.
If you read that
See
book,
how long
it's
till that-
amazing.
Angela, how can people? Because you're still struggling. How can people support you?
Oh, just come out to the Pineapple, please. Have a hamburger, have a beer. We have St. Patty's
Yeah,
going on
because I
next
gotta be
weekend.
honest.
We'll
you have a great
it.
Reuben sandwich.
Oh, and we are known for our corned beef and cabbage and potato pancakes.
Location.
Yes, in Sherman Oaks, 4454 Van Nuys Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, California.
the best.
We would love to see you.
That's Pineapple Hill. Mary Ann, we did it again. There goes a quick hour.
It goes by so
Goes so
fast.
fast.
And now all of a sudden we've got with this 5G, and then Manuke on the 16th, and don't forget LA Convention Center on Wednesday the 20th. Shepherd Church on Tuesday evening. We'll be there at both. Come and pick up some of these petitions. Come and pick up information on candidates. We'll have great candidates like Daniel Martinez Esquire, who's running for Congress in the 31st District. It's his second run. He's doing really great. I saw him today. So be sure to go to our website, LosAngelesHispanicRepublicanClub.com. And like Larry Elder says, put some money in the tip jar because we have a county to save. So this is David Hernandez, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Drop it off, then I get to go home.
We all know that aches and pains come with simply getting older, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it. That's why I want to tell you about a special lady, Leah from Ohio, and her Relief Factor story. One Sunday, Leah was sitting on the couch in so much pain she was literally in tears. That's when she decided to try Relief Factor. Just 8 days later, she found relief, and she continued to get better and better. To quote her, she said, "I am truly amazed at this product. Like me, who after 9, almost 10 years, almost a decade of lower back pain, lost that pain thanks to Relief Factor. If you're living with aches and pains, see how Relief Factor, a daily drug-free supplement, could help you feel and live better every day. Get the 3-week quick starter pack at relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. It all comes with a feel better or your money back guarantee. That number, 1-800-4RELIEF. relieffactor.com.
KRLA, Glendale, Los Angeles. AM 870, The Answer. Getting you ready for election 2024 with the best lineup. Hewitt, The Morning Answer with Jennifer Horn, Grant Stinchfield, Prager, Kirk, Gorka, Levin, Officer Tatum. This is AM 870, The Answer. Breaking news and talk from the voices you can trust.
I said shut up. With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Emergency responders helping residents escape high water from flooding in Charleston, South Carolina today after the National Weather Service reported record rains.
Senior meteorologist Brian Adams.
That record amount was 3.63 inches at the calendar day, and that beat the old record of 1.43 set in 1948.
He also says high winds were an issue as well, blowing out windows and ripping off roofing at least 3 businesses. The Charleston Fire Department says it responded to at least a dozen incidents where vehicles were sinking. The department also helped relocate 13 people from vehicles or floodwaters. I'm Julie Walker.
In the meantime, torrential rain, also landslides and flash floods in Indonesia's Sumatra Island. At least 19 people are dead. This is SRN News.
You have a move coming up, but who wants to deal with endless packing, heavy boxes, and incredibly hot weather? Hire the coolest moving company in California, Presto Logistics. Hi, I'm Henry Vogel of Presto Logistics. For over 2 decades, we've moved thousands of families and businesses throughout California and across the country. We've got the trucks, movers, and experience for a smooth and stress-free move. Here's what one of our clients recently wrote.
Great experience with Presto Logistics for my move from California to Arizona. I've already used them twice over the past few years. From start to the end,
Shake the tree,
these
baby.
movers were respectful
Shake the tree.
and professional when dealing with
And that's
all
what
my
you did.
belongings,
I did not
making
say a
sure
word
that
on
nothing was
any of those
damaged.
posts.
Our climate-controlled warehouse can keep your items safe until you're ready to move. We're licensed and insured, focusing on safety, integrity, and quality service. Call today and I'll personally come out to your home to give you a free binding quote and a 5% discount. Nobody likes Call speeders unless it's them.
818-349-4000 or go to PrestoMoving.com. Take the stress out of moving with Presto Logistics. 818-349-4000. That's 818-349-4000. Or go to PrestoMoving.com.
Is an idiot.
This year's Ask a Jew, Ask a Christian features Dennis Prager and Pastor Alan Jackson. Does Alan think the Hamas attack on Israel is a sign of end times?
My short answer would be no, because I think we have been seeing the Jews hunted and murdered for hundreds of years. That's not a new thing.
When will we know the end of the age?
I think we'll know we really stepped into that window Jesus described in Matthew 24 when they start doing to Christian communities what they did to the Jewish community on October the 7th.
But what will Dennis Prager have to say about it? Come find out at this year's Ask a Jew, Ask a Christian, Tuesday, March 12th. At Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch. With our common heritage, what are the similarities and differences between Judaism and Christianity? Get your tickets to Ask a Jew, Ask a Christian by logging on to am870.info. Keyword ask. That's am870.info.
I
Keyword
agree.
Ask.
Thank you.
Keyword ask.
Sponsored by Advanced Burial and Cremation.
This Oscar. Radio Free California.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gunslingers right here on the Gunslinger Radio Network.
And KRLA.
Hey, home station.
I almost did the old right here on K. Anyway. Oh, man. The Gunslinger Network. We are now on in four different stations.
4 markets,
for those
baby.
Of you. Yeah, four different ones. We're on here in LA, down in San Diego, Inland Empire, but they don't start for another hour.
Yeah, you gotta wait on us.
In Phoenix. We are now on in Phoenix also. We're looking for Vegas. Problem is Salem doesn't have anything in Nevada, so that's going to be a tough market to crack. I don't know how we're going to get that done.
They should have something in Nevada.
I couldn't agree with
Nevada.
you more.
They're very picky about that. It's not Nevada. It's Nevada. You got to get up in the adenoid. It's for you, Beaver and Company.
There you go. So that's that. You know, we're moving on. We're moving up, and we're doing great. The number one type show of its kind in the United States.
You better believe it.
And I don't care what anybody says. It is to me, and that's all that matters.
And just in case San Bernardino IE doesn't get us yet, everyone knows that our streams are up right now on Rumble, Facebook Live, and on YouTube. Just search the Gunslinger Hour Radio Show or Gunslinger Auctions on any of them. You'll see our beautiful faces and hear these beautiful voices all at the same time.
And this is a live show, which means that you can call in. Please do. It makes our show. What's that number?
That's going to be 866-870-5752.
Now, one more time just for fun.
866-870-5752.
See, you said that one with a smile.
That
I
was
like
pretty
it.
good. And don't forget, you can also play along on any of the streaming services on which we participate. So if you'd like to go to Facebook Live or Rumble or YouTube Live, you will see our smiling visages.
Yes.
Whatever the hell that means.
I wash my visage.
Well, there's that. Oh, big news. Big news. Next week. Now, tonight we are gonna have Ricky's back, feeling better. But next week, okay, remember on New Year's Eve, these two knuckleheads couldn't show up. Yeah. So, I reached out and got the one, the only, Leon, the Motorman, to come in and do the Motorman Gunslinger show.
Hey.
Well, guess what, folks? Next week, we're doing it again.
Guess
Motor Slingers!
Yeah, there you go. The Motor Slingers show. Leon's going to be in studio for all 2 hours. You're going to be able to call in. As I said before, absolutely ask him questions, but before you do, you better say how much you miss him and how much he means to you.
Show a little respect to a legend.
That's right. So,
come on, folks.
Yeah, don't just call in because your 82 Toyota Celica front
low
tire.
on wiper fluid.
Yeah. So don't do that. Call in, say thank you for all the years that he helped everybody out, including me.
Right here.
Then you can ask him your question. Okay.
Side note, one more thing. Next Sunday is going to be also a very important holiday if you got a kiss of the Irish in you.
Hey.
Do you know what that is? It's St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
I'm a murder for a reason.
Yeah, there you go. Careful, boy, you'll be sued.
The shitting.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Good times.
Yeah. Okay, so back to guns. Holy cow. Okay, so as of yesterday, we finished describing the catalog for May.
Already?
Yeah, already.
You got an hour off?
About, yeah. We're woefully behind on pictures being taken because of the fact that we're so limited on space with so much stuff coming in we had to convert the the photography bay to the shipping bay. And
then vice versa.
Yeah, but now that we're caught up with shipping, it's reverting back to being
up until this next week when you do have a couple more.
Yeah, so, and then of course we got Fredo, our photographer, and Fredo has this problem with showing up on time.
He's a busy man.
Not that you're being called out, Fredo.
He's only 22 years old. I get it. But there's no excuse for being late to a job that starts at 10 in the morning. I don't care.
I don't care when you wake up.
Thank you.
Is it because you change locations on a regular basis, perhaps?
No.
I tried to help.
It's
10 in the morning, seriously.
It's the gen. What can you say? They just, the last time he was late, well, actually, the second to last, because this was the other day. The last time he was late.
There are many of these.
I told him, give me your dad's number, because his dad is our age and runs his own business
like this.
And I asked him, I asked Fredo one time, what would your dad do to you if you were late this often? And he just went, and he looked down, didn't answer. So I told him the last time he was late, I said, give me your dad's number, because I'm going to start calling him every time you're late.
I'm going to tell your daddy.
Little breakfast massage there.
Yeah, absolutely. But this time he showed up. Now, for those of you that don't know, 590 AM is our sister station here on Salem. And our good friend Rick from the CRPA, every Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m., has his own show over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, Rick being Rick, he had a guest all lined up for this week, and last second the guest bailed out. So, guess who got a phone call?
Who's the special guest this week?
That was me.
That's both ways.
I had almost 10 minutes to get prepared, and they do it differently there. They pre-record, and it was over Zoom, which those of you that follow the show know I am not a computer guy.
You're a whiz.
No, I take a whiz on a computer. Thank you. My computer still blinks 12 p.m. in the upper right hand corner like your old VCR. Yeah, and so I get there early to do other stuff, and it's like, oh, well, I guess so I had. You ready for this? Now keep in mind, folks, this is me we're talking about, okay? I downloaded Zoom, which I didn't even know what the hell it was, but I managed to get her done, and I got on with Rick. I could not believe I did it. Thank you. I mean,
have Zoom.
All by myself. Yeah, the Zoomies.
That's going on the resume, baby.
So, yeah, I can Zoom.
You've Zoomed.
I did. I Zoomed.
Zoom and Zoom.
So I managed to get that done, and we had a fun show. It was interesting hearing Rick be me.
You.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and I got to be Rick, except, I was a little bit more subdued because it's his show, and I don't want to step on toes.
Meet the other foot.
Yeah, well, because he told me the first segment is pretty much like his segment on here, where he talks about updates and stuff, and I don't want to interrupt in there.
No.
And then we talked about the shop. Now, one thing that he did get me out of this, and this is really cool. Do you know this guy? It's Gun Guy TV on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess the guy's got millions of followers. He is a friend of Rick's, and he is going to come in to Gunslingers in Orange, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, and do a whole
PA?
Yeah, a whole show from Gunslingers in Orange.
Awesome.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
That's
so that'll be fun. So we're going to do that. I've got so many things hanging on the wall, guys. It's unbelievable. People are contacting me to do so many things. I just got asked to do a charity auction for some very famous people.
That's not just a courtesy. You're actually an auctioneer. You can really pull this off.
I am a colonel, because that's the honorary title you get as an auctioneer. And speaking of honorary titles, let's get to Richard at the airport. Richard, how was that for a segue?
That's
pretty slick.
Richard, how are you?
Good evening, you daylight savings gunslinger.
Oh, hey. Don't you feel? I mean, I woke up today and I was all screwed up because of the hour lost, and I still felt better about it.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm tired from this morning's.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Richard, what can we do for you?
Well, one thing, I went to bed early and I just slept in. I didn't even notice anything.
There you go.
Lucky man.
But anyway, yeah, I got a question. We save the cartridges from 38s and 45s and reload them.
Mm-hmm.
But But 22 cartridges, are they worth anything at all?
No.
Scrap, maybe the scrap brass.
Yeah, if you get like maybe
a million of them.
Yeah, at least I was going to say 6-7 million. You could probably fit those squished down into an ammo can, and you could get maybe 50 cents for it, I guess. I don't know. You can't reload them because of the way they are loaded with the, it's not fulminated mercury anymore, but the little substance.
The priming compound.
Yeah, the priming compound at the bottom. When, being a rimfire, when it gets squished, it goes pop, and that, sets off the round. So it's gone. And I know there are people that do it. All I can say is why. What is the point?
$6 for 50. You got to have more time on your hand than Jeff does.
Yeah, and go ahead.
It sounds like it would be a very time-consuming and hard to reload one of those anyway.
It is, and there's absolutely no point. I don't even know where you would get the projectiles. I don't.
Boy, right?
Yeah, you'd have to special order them. That would cost you.
It'd have to be extra soft lead with the low.
Yeah. Forget about it. It's not worth the trouble. So that's the story on that. All right, Richard, you got a joke for us?
Yeah. What would you be concerned about if you met a snowman with teeth?
A snowman with teeth.
Well,
frost
bite.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys, you make the mark. You guys are in the wrong business. You need to be joke tellers.
Or joke spoilers.
Yeah.
Richard, I was going to say something along the lines of it's a snowman with teeth. What the hell? No. Anyway, Richard, we'll talk to you next week.
Welcome to
and we'll have Leon with us next week.
We'll see you then.
All right, we'll talk to you then. All right, there's some music on the wall. That means we're going to a commercial break. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
Syndicated Radio Network.
You better believe it, baby.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Every day, it's getting faster.
Hey, it's Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions. I believe in America, and I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe it's every American's right to protect themselves and their family.
Get him on the show when we're doing Sunday mornings, and he wouldn't come on because he's a Christian man. He recognizes the Sabbath and everything, so he wouldn't come in on
problem
Sunday.
with that. That's cool.
And so I was like, we can pre-record something. I was trying to get him to do something. So hopefully, after we have him in at the shop, that'll be a good step in the right direction. So, but no, I talked to him I spoke to him on the phone at the.
Another one I want to go after is Hickok 45.
Hickok 45 would be a good one.
Yeah.
We get a station out his way, he'll do it.
I didn't hear you.
If we can get a station out his way, he'll do it.
Where's he at?
I want to say he's in the...
.com. Once more, GunslingerAuctions.com. I made some wine. Best pop song ever written. I was younger, so much younger than today. I never needed anybody's help in any way. But no, this is the Beatles. We better cut it off. Stop. Quick. Okay, welcome back. That was a quick exit. Welcome back to Gunslingers right here on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
And I actually picked that song for a reason because I have a feeling we're going to hear a whole lot of bad news, and we're going to need some help.
H-E-L-P.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you kindly.
That's segue stuff.
Rick, how are you?
Wow. I actually had good news tonight, and you played that song.
Oh, geez. Well,
you helped us out.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to screw it up. What can we do? What's going on?
No, we had a really good primary election, and I want to highlight that because I think a lot of people have gotten a bit down and may not have seen some of the great things that happened during the primary. We had a group of anti-Second Amendment advocates who have done a lot of harm to our community, and they don't get to take their show on the road. And we'll start off with just here in your area, Anthony Portantino, who terms out at the end of the year, was trying to go for Adam Schiff's seat. He was supposed to be the shoe-in. LA Times, everybody said this was his race. He owned it and didn't finish in the top two. He got defeated soundly, including by a Republican that got more votes than Anthony Portantino did in a very Democratic district.
Excellent.
I don't think you understand the significance of this. Is he going to have to go out and get a
No.
Job?
No.
Say it. Yeah.
Remember, to a lot of people in today's world, work is a 4-letter word.
Oh, yes. It's the worst.
Right. And then, it didn't stop there. I had shared with you guys pretty much about 4 or 5 months ago how upset I was with Melissa Hurtado, the senator out of the Central Valley, who had told us she was going to help us stop AB 28 and then ended up becoming the spokesperson 15 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was running from Congress, and she was denied going to Congress because she, too, finished 4th place because both the Republican and Democrat, who are very pro-2A, ran excellent campaigns in her area and denied her the chance to move on.
Excellent.
That was 2 people they planned to send back to Congress. Katie Porter, as we all know, who has been a pain in everybody's rear end, was denied her Senate bid, and she terms out, and it looks like a Republican is going to replace her seat. And then finally, but not last, Reggie Jones Sawyer, who has held the Public Safety Committee hostage, has stopped good bills from getting out and made a lot of bad bills very easy to get through, was denied his seat in the LA City Council race despite all of his money and all of his pull. So just from a political point of view, there were 4 very anti-2A people that thought they were going to go on the road, and they're not.
And they're getting bugged.
So,
They're hitting the road now.
Mm-hmm. California has a funny, we're a California-based show, and we have a funny electoral system in the primaries where the top 2 runners meet each other.
Yeah.
And it's possible because of California's strange electrical system. Sorry, I was quoting Biden there. The Electrical College. Anyway, it is possible for 2 Democrats to face one another.
Yep. Yeah, it's jungle elections or whatever they call it.
That's not wrong.
Yeah.
So I thought you guys would be happy with that.
Absolutely.
Because that's part of what I'm wanting, is I'm wanting more people that aren't idiots up in the Capitol to help me with the fight. So
Makes your life easier, doesn't it?
Yes, and there's a good chance that if these things hold in November and the electorate stays disgruntled with the Democratic Party, that we could possibly break the supermajority in California. So all I'm going to say is, people, make sure you go out there and vote, get registered, and make sure you take a few people with you to vote, because this was a very interesting political season so far. But on the other news, I want to make sure everybody knows we're hammering this home. Senate Bill 1160, which is Portantino's bill for firearms annual registration, this impacts every gun owner. For years, we told gun owners this was going to happen, but a lot of gun owners who might have the nightstand pistol or the hallway shotgun or whatever said, well, this doesn't apply to me. This applies to people who compete, or people who go hunting, or people who do whatever it is they do, but it doesn't apply to me. There's also been times where law enforcement are like, oh, we'll have a carve-out in other groups, meaning that it wouldn't apply to them. This applies to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, even for law enforcement, they said this applies to them except for their duty-issued firearm. Every other firearm, they would have to register. They'd have to pay the fees. Fees right now are looking to be about $250 a firearm, and then an annual registration fee of about 50% of that.
And of course, they can make it whatever they want as it goes forward.
Yeah, do me a favor, back up a little bit and explain this bill, because not everybody is wise to it yet.
And if you're listening from out of California, coming soon to a city near you.
Yep.
Yeah, so what this bill is designed to force you to have to do is you will have to go register every firearm you own, regardless if it's a curio and relic, meaning it's an antique, regardless if it was handed down, regardless if you purchased it yourself before they had long gun registration. It does not matter. Every one of them has to be registered. Failure to do so is a misdemeanor. You grab a couple of those become a felony, and then you lose all your firearms. But what's really sinister about this bill does not stand on its own, because there's a couple other bills that they're trying to get pushed through at the same time. And one of those bills requires your insurance agent to become the law enforcement agency for the state to make sure you're complying with 1160. Because what it says is, when you go to get your car insurance, your business insurance, your house insurance, umbrella policies, think everything other than medical right now, any other type of insurance, your insurance agent is going to be the one asking you under penalty of perjury, and if you lie to them or withhold information from them, then your insurance policy is no good. So therefore, you don't tell people, as an example, yeah, I have X number of firearms, and then as a result, all of a sudden you have someone break in, they steal them, there's a house fire, they get burned, and you go to claim them. Nope. Not only are you not going to be able to claim them, but you're going to lose whatever insurance you had to cover whatever the damages were, and you're now going to be guilty of X number of however many you left off the registration of misdemeanors. So this is a very sinister thing. They know that law enforcement won't enforce this, so now they're trying to make your insurance agent into their own personal extension of the DOJ.
Wow.
And normally I would chuckle at this going, come on, this is such a major overreach. There's no way. But that's not true anymore, is it?
Nope.
No, this is why we have to fight. It's why everybody has to wake up. And I'm hoping with some of the election results when we're up there this next week that we're going to be able to start to push back on some of these people, especially the ones in the middle line, and say, don't even think about it. But at the same time, that's also going to take a lot of people out there. You should be irate, you should be beyond incensed, and you should be calling your local legislators and saying, enough's enough.
Yep, couldn't agree.
No longer can we be quiet.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like go ahead.
Go ahead.
It doesn't even feel like a slippery slope. This feels like the cliff's edge right here. It feels like once any of this starts going through, things are just gonna. You have no safety net. They're just gonna do whatever they want. They'll just take and
they're not even trying anymore. They're just coming naked aggression at you.
It's like they're basing off fear. I think they're scared.
I vote in person. For some reason, I don't seem to think the mail-in system is flawless. Anyway, I vote in person. I don't know how you gentlemen do your business, but I waited in line. There was a pretty good line, and it was not a prime time that I went in. It was getting towards poll closing time, and most of the people that were off work had already been off work for a while. I waited in line, good solid 10, 15 minutes. Place was full.
I was solo. There was no one in my polling place, and even the kids that were running the place were like looking around, like, well, I don't know where everyone's at. I was like, get them in.
Well,
yeah,
unless it's a Democratic district, and then that's a good thing.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I was
think
feeling.
A lot of this is going to come down, without a doubt, that we all have to just be irate, and we need to pass the word to everybody, because having insurance agents be the cops for the state is like you're living in the old Soviet bloc.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if somehow this manages to get through, how can it possibly withstand any kind of a look at by any kind of a judge?
It won't. It eventually will fail, but the fact is, meantime, I mean, you're talking that could take 4 or 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
A lot of damage has been done in that time, and that's why, you know, one of the things CRP has been very good about is going and suing and winning lawsuits. And what I've told people, as we keep winning, they're going to fight harder and harder. We cannot relax.
No.
You can see the increasing desperation.
That's what this is.
Yeah, because I swear I don't remember reading "Thou shalt check with your insurance company" in the Constitution.
In the Constitution,
you're in good hands with
Rick. We're already down to 2 minutes. Holy cow!
Then this is all good newsy, though.
Well,
we're liking it. Everybody here's cheery.
Hey, you know what, Rick? If you don't mind, let's keep you over a little bit into the next segment. That way, because I know we got more. Plus, I want to talk a little bit. How did you feel about doing my job and me doing your job for a change?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would love to do that.
Okay, well, again, we got about a minute and a half, so we can keep going on this particular thing, and then when we come back, we'll get into that a little.
Yeah, the other one is, remember, they're also trying to go after the firearm safety card, which is something that you gentlemen have dealt with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that is basically the permission slip to buy a pistol in the state of California. They have to take a test and then get the card. But now what they're trying to do is convert that card into a license, saying that if you don't have that with you, then you lose your firearms.
Yeah.
Always look at the long game.
Really quick, for those of you that don't know, about 1995, they came out with the BFSC. That's a basic firearm safety card. It was good for life. And it was $2, I believe, in the beginning. It was $2. It was good for life, and it was only for handguns. Then they said, hey, if we made more money on this... Oh, you know what? We got a commercial. Rick,
pick that up, though.
Yeah, when we get back, I'll finish the history of the HSC, BFSC,
BS
card.
Anyway, Rick, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Radio Network.
That syndicated radio network.
Come on back, baby.
And we'll be right back.
Dum, 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 dum.
Dum-be-doo-be-dum. Wah, 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 wah. Well, love, darling, come and go.
I do feel like I'm in a fairly democratic part of San Bernardino, because Loma Linda is it's a fairly religious city, and it's a medical city and town and all like that. But a lot of college kids. It's a college place, so you have a lot of outward thinkers, and so I was kind of relieved. You can see. I told the kids that I was voting Republican, and you could see their eyes just kind of swallow back into their throats.
Yeah, that's because the left has controlled the media so long that if you're a Republican, you're just automatically ridiculous.
Yeah, but you know what? That pendulum has been cemented, and it's starting to wiggle.
Oh, yeah.
I do know this. There is not a lot of energy on the left because most elections are coattail elections.
Ooh. Okay, I'm not going to do this live. I'm only telling you guys because it's not a real big audience. You ready for this? Okay, remember I told you how it took them $20,000 to upgrade our old location where we got kicked out of, and then it took them 6 months to rent, and the guy got arrested that rented it and all that stuff. Get this. Last week, the Julie next door, 2 armed robbers went in. Armed. She gave fight. They shot at her.
Oh, man.
Yeah, missed her, luckily. Went through her interior wall, out her exterior wall, through the next building, into the cleaners.
That happened a lot when the gun store was there?
Not ever.
Not a single.
What are the chances?
I mean, unbelievable.
Wow.
I went in, because I was there last week, I went to a particular place where lots of people go to get their oil changed, and the SOB didn't tighten my...
Oh man.
I went to EOT like that.
Do you know what could have happened on that wonderful stretch?
Yes, I do.
Holy.
When I got into Ken's Monday morning last week, I had about a half a quart left of oil.
Was the plug still there?
The plug was there, but he went... Whee! And there was a big puddle underneath my oil filter. So we changed the oil, which is only like 3 weeks old. Change the oil again, put a new filter on, and no issues now. But sheesh.
Got a question about the cameras inside the gun shops.
That's a good one. And I got a comment here from Fred. I listened to a repeat of last Sunday's show yesterday.
On 570.
On AM 570.
Hey now.
AM 570.
That's
you might remember that station from the early days.
Wait, AM 5?
That's 590.
Oh, 590. Yeah. Whoa. What? They're replaying our old shows on.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, I think IE is 570.
No, it's I'm absolutely 100% certain it's 590. 790 was KABC.
Fred, you want to give us any more mileage on that story?
Yeah.
Because that's very interesting to us. That would be, speaking of the karmic circle.
Yeah.
That would make me smile.
You miss us, do ya?
I'd be curious to find out what station that was. It had to be 590.
Could have been, but he says AM 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that says AM 870. I'm so sorry, it's my faltering eyes.
Oh, okay. Well,
thank you.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
They do it all the time. Believe it or not, I mean...
They're not doing that if you're not getting ears.
Yeah, we are getting amongst the best listening audience in... How do you put this, Kevin, without being...
It's because of Kevin.
We're doing really frickin' well.
Nation.
Extremely intelligent.
AM 870.
Intelligent.
The answer.
Love that build-up.
Sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
Oh,
R&B stuff.
It's so wrong to interrupt Levi Stubbs. I'm sorry. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
And we're back with Rick from the CRPA to continue our story. Okay, so I'll get this out of the way, and then we'll go back to you, Rick. Okay, so it started off as a BFSC, $2, good for life. Then they said, hey, you know what? We can make money on this. Then they turned it into the handgun safety card, the HSC, and it was, I think it was $15 or something, and it was only for handguns, but you had to renew it every 5 years. But you didn't have to keep it on you. Once you bought the gun, you could literally throw it away if you weren't going to buy another handgun with it. And now you have to have it for everything.
Every firearms purchase.
Yeah, it is now an FSC, a firearms safety card. And
what they want to do with it is
make it basically your driver's license for firearms.
And the price of that has gone up.
Well, now it's $25.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you know. And again, where does that money go? Where does the DROs, that's dealer record of sale, your registration fee, $47 per, and California averages about 2,000 registrations a day. Does anybody know where that money goes, Rick?
The Newsom Slush Fund? Did I say that out loud?
Oh, hey.
No, but I bet that's what it is.
It's that polar bear carpet he's got.
No one knows where it goes.
I mean, didn't the CRPA or somebody sue to try and find out where that money was going and to audit the system? And whatever happened with that?
It's being held up in the court.
Well, there's a shock.
You know, Finland just opened up 300 new government-sponsored shooting ranges. So I presume California is saving their money so they can do that for us,
Well, yeah,
right?
because that's what we do is copy Europe.
Yeah, but that's a really good point that we need to push those things out there, because this is a state that keeps saying, look, everybody else is downsizing firearm. No, they're not.
We were just in Arizona with that beautiful state-sponsored shooting range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Pittman Robertson dollars, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rick, what is going on with the unbelievably intrusive camera and recording? I mean, this is a sneak and peek warrant without the warrant. Am I wrong?
Well, yeah. No, and we're suing on that one. That is in the courts. We've already made our testimonies, and now we're waiting for the panel to get back with us with their ruling on it.
That should be.
Now, I thought you were going to talk about the Deja Vu or Old Twisteroo, where you and I exchanged.
Well, yeah,
Freaky Friday.
Okay, yeah,
that's the next move.
I mentioned it earlier in the show, but Rick has his own show every Saturday at 1 p.m. on 590 a.m. And his show yesterday, it was Rick's show, and I was the guest, so we kind of flip-flop spaces. Was it weird for you?
It was. The first segment was a little weird. I kept thinking, like, does Jeff do this? Does he like? Rick, say something. I don't know what you're going to do.
Well, I did, because your first segment is so much CRPA stuff. I really didn't want to step on anything, so I just kind of let you go. And then, of course, guys start showing up, and I'm doing this Zoom thing that I explained earlier, and here's Johnny over there sweeping right next to me. It's like, I can't even hear him, John. What are you doing over here? And then I got guys in the other room, and they're laughing and joking, and it's like, I literally at one point go, guys, I'm on the radio. Do you mind? So it got a little bit difficult for me to stay focused because, I'm hearing stuff in the background and phone calls and so on and so forth. But other than that, I had a good time with it.
Did you come up with some really great bumper music for Jeff?
No, we don't have the great bumper music. We're low budget. But I thought it was really good, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity we have to try to both, cross-pollinate, but also to let people know about the man behind the microphone and all the things you do. I mean, most people just know you from the show or know you from, the auctions. But I thought we got into some of the auctions, we got into some of the things that you're a real two-way advocate all the way around, 360 degrees. And I think that's important to get those out there because, there are so many misconceptions. I mean, one of my favorite, and I can say it because we're good friends now, but Senator Jones down out of San Diego, I remember the first time I showed up at a range down called Lemon Grove down there, and he was holding an event, and I brought a couple of girls that worked for the CRPA, and he goes, oh, here come the ringers. And the girls look at him, and I look at him, I'm like, what? And he goes, oh, come on, quit playing with us. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you guys shoot every day. You're the CRPA. You have your own ranges, you have this, you have that. And I'm like, no to all the above.
Lots of free ammunition.
If we're lucky, like once a year, we just defend everybody else's right to do it. And then after a couple of girls shot, he came back and he goes, you weren't joking. Like, they said that was their first time. Uh-huh. Yep. And he's like, wow, my staff shoots more than your staff. I'm like, thanks for that. But anyways, I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of misconceptions out there. And I think it's good to let people know who we are, and we're just like them. So when we say, hey, we get up and we get out there and we fight in the trenches, we're not asking to do anything that we don't do every day of our lives.
Speaking of which, I got the latest firing line in the mail and all that, and going through it. You guys do so much, and you can see a lot of your fingerprints in what's going on in the magazine. Not only the articles, but you guys pay attention to even some of the people that work for you, that do the volunteer work. We had a nice memorial in the end of it for one of the guys that's been through a bunch of auctions and all that.
But Mr. Race. Yeah, Dave. That was really tragic.
That was a heartbreaking, but it was such a nice thing to show that you guys really do care and all. But it's called the CRPA, but your fight doesn't stop here. I see all the other bills in all the other states that you guys are fighting, and that you guys are covering and all that. And so just to anyone listening beyond our border here, I know we have Arizona and we have Phoenix and all that, but you guys are crossing other state lines and all that, really putting out the fight for the country, not just for our state. And you can see, I hope everyone who is a CRPA member is going through and reading it, seeing all the helpful tips in there, all the great articles and all that. I think it's a big showing of what you guys really do. Like how you're saying, you guys can't go out to the range all the time because you guys are doing actual work everywhere.
Well, and Jimmy, I thank you for bringing that up, because it's hard sometimes for us, because it's about the people, it's about that, it's not about us. But I know Chuck is doing a case in Illinois to try to help them out that's based off a lot of bad laws that were passed here. Yeah. I'm going out in a week and a half to Colorado because, ironically, Assembly Bill 28, which was the 11% excise tax, word for word, other than the word California are now saying Colorado. They're trying to pass it there, and so I'm going out there to help their legal and legislative teams know all the arguments, give them all the briefing to save them time, and to let them try to get out there in front of it and stop it, and at least turn it into a zombie bill for a few years so we can get a good ruling that would say it's illegal. So, yeah, we try to get out to other states and assist them and help them, because we know what happens here is going there.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Rick, we get a lot of questions from people saying, how is that possible, this 11%? How come there hasn't been an injunction against it already? You want to speak to that?
Yeah, sure. So here's the deal. There has been an existing 11% excise tax on all firearms purchases since the 1930s, and that is known as the Pittman-Robertson tax. And the Pittman-Robertson tax is something that pays for conservation, hunting, all different programs and things that everybody gets to enjoy, including people that are called non-consumptive users, meaning that they don't go on the wilderness, but they still enjoy all the benefits of it. Because that tax has existed, and because we self-taxed ourselves, this is what and I'm just going to lay the blame with the Giffords and Everytown who came up with this. It wasn't Gabriel that did it, but they came up with this idea, and what they tried to use was, aren't people more important than animals and wildlife? So if you guys have agreed to do this on this, you should do it on that. So we could say that it's unconstitutional to have an excise tax. But the moment we would do that, we would literally kill probably 50% of the fish and wildlife agencies in the country overnight by taking away the Pittman-Robertson dollars that fund those programs. And so that is why we're having to fight this on a couple of different levels. And that's why they're trying to ram it as fast as they can nationwide.
Got it. Thank you. That's very clear.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievably devious, but and packed full of lies, but that's the way they roll.
That's what the evil do. They don't have any good thing to stand on, so they lie, they cheat, they steal, they do whatever it takes to make things miserable for the rest of us.
Well,
yeah.
In a moral society, they're the winners, right?
Yeah.
Right, and so, that's why we do what we do, and we do it day in, day out, and we can't do it without volunteers and people like you gentlemen who get the message out there that is so imperative. And I got to tell you guys, I'm talking to our board this next Saturday, and one of the things I'm highlighting with this show is you were able to help us get the word out. Do I know for a fact that that's what stopped Portantino from taking Schiff's place in Congress? No, but I would lay you odds it's a contributing factor. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Well, and oddly enough, isn't he the author of this 1160?
Yes, he is.
Now, isn't that got to be a good thing for us that people got to say, well, wait a minute. This guy just got, axed. Maybe we should just let this go.
Right, and that's what we're going to be pushing that message. Sam Paredes and I are up and down the Capitol.
Good.
Flush a toilet, the trash can't stay with it, right?
And like our show you're starting to go national. We got somebody asking about, hey, do you have anything like the CRPA in Wisconsin?
You know what? We do have a couple of groups there, but we will also help people form groups, and they can also reach out to the Second Amendment Law Center, which I'm a part of, and we're trying to help get those set up across the country so that we can stop these shenanigans before they get started and rooted.
That is really, really important. Do you want to shout out where people can get a hold of you? And it doesn't matter what state you're in.
No, they can go to either us at crpa.org, and they can reach out, contact, and ask to speak with me directly if they need to. Or they can go also to 2alc.com, which is the Second Amendment Law Center, and put their questions in there, and we will get to them.
All right. Again, if anybody wants to donate their time, their money, join, which I highly recommend you do, even if you're not in California. You go to, what is it again, Rick?
crpa.org.
All right.
It'd be easier.
Get it done, because I know we're over 5,000 members now that we've gotten.
Keep the numbers pumping.
You guys
folks.
are incredible.
Well, we do what we can, Rick, because we appreciate what you guys do there.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for the extra segment.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay. Hey, Rick,
have a good week.
We'll talk to you soon, and I'm going to see you next Monday, right?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Talk to you later.
Anyone on any of our Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube streams, you can see CRPA. All their information's up there right now. Go ahead and make sure you log on to there whenever you get a chance.
Yep. All right, when we get back, we're going to start taking phone calls. What's that number, Jimmy?
866-870-5752.
One more time.
866-870-5752.
All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Radio Network.
And we'll be back
right after this.
Now I'll run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all. Could give you
Hey, Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shops here. If you want to buy, sell, or trade a firearm, come.
Where did I look?
Great fucking tune.
Hey, tell me about ammunition at the Azusa store. How you guys doing with that? You got it?
Yes, I did. Holy cow. We got a ton. And I mean,
literally a ton.
More like 3. We had to take the big truck, the big U-Haul truck, and we got about 120 ammo cans full, about 20 the wood crates full of 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 54, 308, 30. 19th. Go to gunslingerauctions.com. Gunslingerauctions.com. That's Gunslinger Auctions. Everybody, the Wolfman Jack Show, right here on K,
the Gunslinger Radio Network.
What did I forget?
Well, we're home base, KRLA.
All right, welcome back to our next power-packed hour is phone calls. We got a couple of phone calls starting to come in. Give us a number one more time, Jimmy.
That's going to be 866-870-5752.
Okay, call in. You got questions? Ladies, you want to call in? Give us a call. You got questions? You're afraid to go into a gun shop. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do? Give us a call. I'll be happy to tell you that. You got questions on paperwork. You got questions on new firearms coming out, because now that they took away some of the
California's getting some stuff.
We're starting to see firearms coming in. Be happy to tell you about the Hellcat, the Springfield Hellcat. Or, still don't know. Well, I got a pretty good idea why we're not seeing Glock Gen 5s. probably because of the things they have to do to them to make them still California okay. Couple of different things. Anyway, you got anybody in San Diego wants to give us a call? Feel free to do that. Anybody in Phoenix wants to give us a call?
Come on.
Yeah, we got Farmer Tice from Phoenix is calling in, but he's been a regular for a while. Anybody else in Phoenix, give us a call. And you know what? Another place that we're looking at, Prescott.
Oh, good place.
Unless you live there, and then it's Prescott.
Prescott.
Yeah, but we're outsiders, so
that's
it's
about
Prescott.
the best Arizona has to offer.
Well, I think you have to show your retired badge in order to move to Prescott because everybody that lives there is a retired fireman or a retired police officer or a retired military.
So you have to show your wallet.
Yeah, so there is that. Okay, really quick, because I promised I would do this. I shot at the world famous Double R Bar today.
There's only one.
There's only one. If you have not done it or if you have never seen it, it's the Lions Club out in, what city is that? I want to say
right
Phelan.
outside of Victorville. But
Yeah, you take the 15 north or south, get off at Bear Valley Road, head eastbound till it dead ends. You hang a right, go south, and you go 6.8 miles. I measured it this morning because I was bored. And on your left, you'll see a big red barn hanging there. That's the Lions Club, and right behind it is the bitchinest range you've ever been to.
One of the best ranges I have ever seen.
It is literally like walking into Deadwood, the TV show, if you ever saw it.
Buildings, they're not just storefronts. A bunch of the buildings are actually functional buildings.
Mm-hmm.
They got a museum on site there.
There is.
It's amazing. Walking down those streets.
Put Apple Valley. Isn't it Apple Valley?
It might be. It might be.
Somebody could call in and set us straight.
They have had in the past the California State Championship. I think it should go back there.
Yes.
Of course, I had the best posse leader in the world, that being Johnny Ringo.
Johnny Ringo.
Yeah, and John and we had the whole Pyru crew with us. We had Frito. We had a Lusty Lil. We had Lefty Longridge with us, and we had the two duelist guys, Tyrone,
the Aimless Lee,
Sergeant Major and Amos Lee shot with us. So
that's a lot of talent in that crew.
Yeah, and we had about. I don't know. We had two full groups, and so we had quite a few folks come in today. It was a lot of fun.
Weather was nice.
Weather a little chilly first stage, but I think when I got there, my truck said it was 46 degrees. But I wore my jacket until I shot the first stage, and I never put it back on.
Never had to put it back on.
Didn't need it. From
Once
then
you're
on.
out there in the sun, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I shot quite well, much better than I did in Arizona last week. Yeah,
a couple of us have that story.
Yeah, no kidding. I did pretty well. I got third overall.
Now, please understand, you're shooting...
Well, one-handed, yeah.
One-handed.
A single action, one-handed.
With a hammered shotgun. And you have to load the shotgun on the clock. You said you ran a 17-second stage.
I had one 17-second stage. Unfortunately, I had a miss on it, so it ended up being a 22. But I did
shoot
do
a 17-second stage. You got to be able to shoot a stage in 17 seconds.
Yeah, I had my first one. My first stage, I did it in 19.35, so 19.35 seconds. My next stage, I did in 19.36 seconds. That was kind of interesting.
Groove. That's a good groove.
And I had a couple in the 20s. I had one or two in 22. I posted one on my Facebook page in my stories thingy at the top, of me, and I did it in 22 seconds. Because I missed two shotgun. I had to make up, not one, but two. So that was always fun.
Well, you're going to load two.
Correction, Lucerne Valley. Let's go with Lucerne.
There you go, Lucerne Valley. Okay, and they have a great lunch there that they serve to you after.
That's honestly, they're doing it right.
It's a great place to shoot. Highly recommend it, and come out because you'll be able to shoot with me.
In those 20 seconds, how many shots were there? Once again,
24 shots.
So you're getting less than a second per shot.
Yeah,
look at that.
Usually, two or three different shooting positions. 4 different firearms. Each firearm has to be manually activated, and you're literally cocking the hammer manually for each shot with each firearm.
Yeah.
I'm working with world champions here, folks.
Well,
it ain't an accident.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been world champion in a little bit, so I'm a ex-world champion.
They call old presidents still. Okay, you just let me know.
Well, you can call me old, but you can't call me RJ. But you can call me JJ. Okay, all right. Hey, let's get to a phone call. Let's get to Eric in Santa Ana. Eric, what can we do for you?
Hey guys, happy daylight savings time. You all three look like you got some Arizona sunburn.
Yeah. Well, I did out there in the desert today. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
out there for the best part of a week. Yep.
I wanted to say that I did get my CCW from Orange County Sheriff's the 28th of February, and it only took like 3 months to get it.
Hey,
good.
That's 1/4 of the time for LA. Sorry.
My question to you is: does the gun club in Rahagas that shoots the automatics and stuff, do they train you for CCW, or is there a special type of club for that?
Well, yeah, that's Firearm Training Association. That's our good friend Bill Murphy, and yes, they do the class for your CCW. You got to make sure that wherever you're getting your CCW accepts them as your training facility. Like for me, I live in Riverside County, so therefore they absolutely accept them. So I'm going to take mine. In fact, I got to call Bill tomorrow to set up a time to get in to get that done. So I'll be doing that there very soon myself.
Well, I'm not asking for.
Are you asking about the full auto? If I recall, go ahead.
I'm asking for just going and training for different scenarios and advancing my knowledge of presenting from CCW.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, like you do for cowboy action shooting, but this is for like concealed carry,
right.
Type of different scenarios. Good guy, bad guy.
He's looking for an advanced class.
Yes, they give from beginner to advanced at FTA over there. Again, Bill Murphy's company. Right. They absolutely do, and they're fantastic with it.
And if I may, props to you for seeking advanced training.
Yep,
absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and get that out to everybody. I mentioned that I saw on the CRPA, or it was on Facebook, that some judge in San Diego, I don't think it was our hero, but it was another judge that did a thing on billy clubs and nightsticks as part of the Bruin decision. So that got shot down, and now you can carry a billy club for personal defense.
I saw that too. I didn't look too much into it because, again, it doesn't have a whole lot to do with firearms. But I heard that, and I haven't looked into it far enough to have any kind of an opinion on it. But interesting.
Kubota stick.
Another thing is this last election, I don't know if Chad Bianco and Don Barnes were up for election, but those two guys are great Second Amendment sheriffs. And did they retain their thing if they were up for election? I didn't check the CRPA website whether or not they were or not.
Well, Chad was not, because again, I live in Riverside County, and he was not on the ballot to vote for. So I think he has 2 more years, and we're kind of hoping he kind of steps up and maybe goes a little higher.
Move up,
Governor.
It was so refreshing to hear
Did I say
somebody.
That out loud?
It was so refreshing to hear someone, obviously not a politician, which I think would be really good for politics, but he was so articulate, so plain spoken, so straightforward. This is a guy who deserves that kind of higher office.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, real pleasure having him on.
Pardon the pun, but a straight shooter.
We need to find a replacement for him if he does go for higher office.
Oh, that's correct too.
Avoid that. The vacuum that is left if he leaves for that can turn in a bad way.
Oh, you ain't kidding there. You ain't kidding. Okay, Eric, we got to go. We're coming up on a break. Thanks for the call, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Take care now.
Thanks for updating us, too.
Good call.
Really quick. Okay, again, don't forget, next Sunday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., the only Leon the Motorman is going to be in studio with us for all 2 hours. We're going to do the what did you call it?
Motor Slingers, or
the Motor Slingers show, and Leon will be here to talk to everybody, answer your questions. We'll probably just sit around and watch Leon.
He's a good smiling, but he's also just such a great hang.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget that. And then in our second Power Packed Hour, thank you, Leon, we're going to be getting to more phone calls. What's that number, Jimmy?
That's going to be 866-870-5752.
Okay, we'll get to Farmer and Linda when we get back. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
Syndicated, baby.
Yeah.
Out to play, and in the game I lost you. What a price to
Go get one right now as well.
We all know that aches and pains come with simply getting older, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it. That's why I want to tell you about a special lady, Leah from Ohio, and her relief factor.
I just asked Leon if he wanted to call in.
Was sitting on the couch in so much pain she was literally in tears. That's when she decided to try Relief Factor. Just 8 days later, she found relief, and she continued to get better and better. To quote her, she said, "I am truly amazed at this product. Like me, who after 9, almost 10 years, almost a decade ago, lost that thanks to Relief Factor. If you're living with aches and pains, see how Relief Factor, a daily B supplement, could help you feel and live better every day. Get the 3-week quick starter pack at relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. It all comes with a feel better or your money back guarantee. That number, 1-800, the number 4RELIEF. relieffactor.com.
Talking with doctors today, the
Holy cow.
Implanova Dental Implant System. You are an implant specialist, period.
Well, it's just us again. Everybody left. Always seems like that. Of course, I can't hear what you guys are saying because I don't have a computer in front of me. I cannot do it. I've tried, and it just ain't in me to try and do that and drive the show. So, oh man.
My advice for your listeners is that go to someone who focuses on implants.
Well, apparently, one of our callers is saying that they overruled the Billy Club law, so I guess that's out.
Missing or decaying teeth, you can get them fixed by Dr. Today, the father of modern implant technology.
Right.
Call for a free evaluation at 310-273-2020. There is no extra charge for the sleep sedation. It couldn't be easier. Again,
Dr. Gorka.
273-2020.
Melissa Freeman just put that.
What's that?
Is it loud in there? Is that why you had to scream it, Melissa? Dr. Gorka.
You know, one day we'll start getting these guys on. Right now, we're still too small potatoes for them. But you watch.
It's not going to be too long. We're going to get it.
Yeah. There's another very famous guy from he's not on the station right now, but I'm sure you figure out who I'm talking about. That I've been trying to get to come on, and he keeps saying who, but eventually he's gonna know.
It's not going to be who for long. Marshall Goodman, Cincinnati, Ohio. Great to have you in.
Cincinnati.
And thank you for the kind words.
Sin in Cincinnati.
He's listening to us on WKRP in Cincinnati.
Kirk says, Lucerne, super windy sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Not today. Beautiful.
Good day. God darn, I'm sorry I missed that. I really wanted to go out. But then I remembered, that's right. I like to sleep in.
Well, I tell you what, I got woke up at 6:30 with a start. What time do you have to be up? I look at my watch. It's like it's 6:30. No, it's 7:30. Ah,
Dropping the hammer, baby.
Man, yeah. So
It's over 90 miles for me, and I really want to support those guys. But it's not just 90 miles. That's a tough 90 miles, especially coming back down the 50.
Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you for the kind words.
It took a while to get back. Because what happens for me, I have to go south on the 15 with all the coming home from Vegas folks. And that's...
Any word on the train? They're putting a private enterprise.
Oh, yes.
Putting a train in. Listen, if you can get freaking 2 people off that freeway, I'll take it.
Yes, Tom, I've been to the Philippines. It's been quite some time, but I was baptized out there.
Oh, thank you, Travis.
Spent about 2 months out there.
I feel like I'm missing a show here.
Walk and chew gum, Jeff.
It's not that easy. Besides, that's what I got you guys for.
Oil slingers. That's from Kirk when Motorman's on.
Oil slingers.
Well, I sent him a text, asked him if he wanted to call in. He hasn't answered me yet.
Orange County Fairgrounds, Costa Mesa, having a gun show March 30th and 31st. Will the Gunslingers be there?
I don't think I'm going to. I don't have really a whole lot to sell, so all we would be doing is putting stuff out on display, and people get pissy about it. You know, oh, I want to buy now. It's like, well, you have to come to the auction. I don't like auctions.
You can wait 10 days anyway.
Yeah.
A question, and this is a good one. Phil asks, what are the costs over the winning bid besides taxes?
A buyer's premium, which is how I get paid, and that would be in-house. It's 15% cash or check and 18% for card. That's it.
You ain't going to find better than that. Boy, oh boy, you ain't going to find better than that. So there you go. And, of course, you're going to have to then pay the gross charges, all of which heads its way up to...
Well, yeah, but, until the end of the year... Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. You're listening to the Gunslinger Hour, brought to you from behind the Iron Curtain in Radio Free, California. Your drumstick broke. What the heck is that?
I'm a beater, baby.
All right, welcome back. It's deja vu all over again. Welcome back to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Radio Network.
All right. So far what we've covered, for those of you that are just getting us out in the Inland Empire, okay, so next week you got to tune in early. And how you do that, you can go on
any of our streams on Rumble, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Just search Gunslinger Radio Hour or Gunslinger Auctions. Gunslinger should bring you up to any of us. You'll see our banner if you're looking at it right now. It's right behind Jeff.
Yep.
But go on there. We're fetching out all these questions and comments, and you'll have hopefully some great questions and comments for Leon the Motorman next week.
Because that's the other big announcement is next week we're going to do a Motor Slingers show again. We're going to have Leon the Motorman in for the whole 2 hours, fielding your questions, anything you want to talk to Leon about. I highly recommend you call in and say thanks for all the good
that he did over 43 years.
Yep.
Everybody here's a fan
at the old station that we all used to be at, that we've all escaped from. Thank you very much.
Escaped.
Don't get me wrong, I didn't mind driving at 5 o'clock in the morning. To the tomb,
right? Yeah,
to the icebox,
the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's get to our friend Farmer out in Phoenix. Farmer, how are you?
That's Farmer Tice.
Yeah, Farmer Tice, welcome back.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Try and be a little informal, but it's okay. Go ahead. No, it's your show. I just stand by.
You mentioned Prescott. Back in the 70s, I was in the racehorse business. I ran horses at Los Alamitos, Bay Meadows, and then in Arizona, Rialito and Prescott Downs. And Prescott used to be a really nice little western town, but right now, the last time I was up there, it's a tourist trap. Very modernized. I couldn't find my way around it this time.
Little East California going on there.
Now, speaking of California, I listened to the Dennis Prager show, and I was shocked. Well, not so shocked. Little Benny Shapiro moved out of California a couple years ago. Dennis is so fed up that he announced that he is very close to leaving California himself, especially if the California raises their taxes like they're going to. Now, I think that's going to happen, but we'll see if Dennis moves out. And I've been listening to Leon Kaplan since the very, very beginning, over 40 years. So I'm really welcome him next week. I'm going to really be tuning in and paying close attention to him. He's helped me out many times on my cars. I used to love it when Jay Leno would call in, too.
Yeah, I mean, too.
Maybe you can get Jay to call in.
To a gun show? Not likely, but is what it is.
Now, I have a question for you. They sell those Mantis X and similar shooting. What do you call those? Like a Mantis X. Have you ever used one of those?
Are you talking about the training things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. They're interesting. I'll be honest, didn't do a lot for me, but
they're a little bit clunky. I think if you're a new shooter, they'd probably have some value because they will teach you, kind of how you're pressuring the trigger and gripping
familiarizing yourself with the firearm more likely.
I didn't like the fact that you get zero recoil from it and so on. But for a new shooter, like Mark said, because a lot of times people will tend to milk the trigger, meaning they're pulling it too hard one way or to other, either down, sideways.
That's the low and left.
Yeah, and so to adjust that without going to the range and wasting precious ammo at the price it is these days.
Well, they sell a whole bunch of them, the different kinds, and I wonder which one do you prefer?
Well, I did like the Mantis. In fact, we were carrying them.
We had a display and all that.
Yeah, until they kind of disappeared on me, and I know they're still out there. They just stopped returning my phone calls, so I stopped carrying their stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So.
Back in the early mid-1960s, I used to get on the Greyhound bus when I was 10 years old, I think it was. And I had no trouble. I carried my shotgun. I had my Colt Super 38 semi-auto in a handbag. Never had any problems. Can't do that anymore, can you?
Can't do that anywhere anymore, pretty much. So, anyway, Farmer, we got other calls to get to. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you later. Okay, let's get to our friend Linda in Burbank. Linda, how are you?
Okay, I want to give out the website again to recall Gavin Newscomb.
Okay.
Absolutely, go ahead.
The website is rescuecalifornia.org. I'll repeat it again, rescuecalifornia.org.
We can get behind that.
And I want to know who, I live in the area of the district, who beat Portantino?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. But I think two people had to do it, and one of them was a Republican, is what Rick said. He did not mention names, and it's not in my district, so I don't know.
2 minutes on Google.
Yeah, and not only that, but this is a gun show, not a political show. So you might try in tomorrow with Dennis Prager, who may or may not be moving out of California. Anyway, Linda, thanks as always for the call. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, that opens up a couple of lines at...
That's going to be 866-870-5752.
Let's have some gun questions.
Hey, we've got a gun question right here. We got Ralph here who's watching this on YouTube, and he says, first-time gun buyer, what pistol would you recommend for home defense and what caliber? Couple of moving parts there.
Well,
take it away, Jeff.
Okay, first-time shooter. Always recommend, despite what anybody else thinks, says, or does, I always recommend a 12-gauge pump.
Yep.
The sound alone will usually take care of the issue, and all you Rambos aside, that got to shoot the 45s and cold dead hands and yada yada yada. Most people, and I mean most people, when push comes to shove, don't want to have to shoot somebody. So it's just better that they leave. And the sound of a 12 gauge will take care of that.
Generally.
Better than a bark of a Rottweiler.
And if it doesn't take care of it, then you have a 12 gauge.
Yeah, you have a 12 gauge pump ready to go.
Better than a bite of a Rottweiler.
Staying on that particular topic, though, do you have a particular favorite firearm or caliber? And this is where the moving parts come in.
Well, as far, you mean for handgun?
Yeah, for handgun.
Okay, well, again, depending on the shooter and so on and so forth, for newbies, revolver in 38.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because it's what do they call it? Point and click
interface, baby.
Yeah.
It's so
original.
Simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing to remember.
There's no slides, safeties.
Can you
mags.
actuate the slide on the semi-automatic pistol?
Mhm.
Can you clear this? If it jams, can you clear it? Can you be sure you're not going to limp wrist it? If you're going to train, semi-automatic pistol will make a certain kind of sense, depending on the amount of time you have to train or your willingness to do it. Revolver.
Mm-hmm.
You just
And all you guys out there, you have 45. Well, listen. I don't want to be shot with a 22. I don't know about you guys, but more people die by 22 every year than any other round.
Yep.
So maybe you need to back up just a wee bit and understand.
get comfortable with the firearm. Modest muzzle blast, modest recoil. 9mm is a great option. 380. Sorry, Bill. It's a great option. 38's a great option.
One thing I've figured out is that you won't shoot anything you're never comfortable with, and if you can't handle it and you feel like that's what you want, that's what the heart wants, but you just can't hold the firearm, what are you going to do with it? You can't throw it at them because now you're giving them the weapon, folks.
And it's going to be early in the morning. You're not going to be awake. Things are going to be happening. You're going to be scared to death. This is, again, it's very simple to pick up a 12 gauge pump and work the action, and that usually will take care of the issues. Okay. Any other questions on there?
Oh, that was from Philip. And again, that's from our feeds that we have on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube right now. So, got a lot of people that's real active right now. I want to thank everyone that's on there. You guys know who you are, especially on our Facebook page. They're great. But we have a lot of new watchers over on our YouTube, and it's great to see you guys there.
Yeah,
Mr.
absolutely.
Enigma, one of our normals on there. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we've got Sean, Edward, Bob, Tony, and Steve. We'll get to you guys because we're coming up on a break. Oh boy, I beat you to it, didn't I?
Got an engineer nodding ferociously in approval.
Yeah. Ooh, and we got the shy lights. All right. Hey, you know what? You're listening to Gunslingers right on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
Again, we're syndicated, baby.
Yeah, come on back.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Yep.
Hey, it's Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shop and Auctions. I've shot a 454 Casull. It was so unpleasant.
475 line by. I mean, there's some stuff out there that.
I mean, if you're in Alaska and you got
if you're having a leg chewed on by a polar bear at that point in time, it makes sense.
Yeah, but other than that,
For anything else, it ain't fun.
No.
Gunslingers has huge gun auctions several times a year. Our next auction is May 19th, where you can bid on
May 19th. It's going to be here before you can say howdy doody.
in person, online, by phone, or with absentee bids.
Yep. John Anderson, absolutely correct. Even with training, mistakes and missed shots happen.
Oh yeah.
Very few
You know,
rounds.
you're going to be tired. You're going to be groggy.
You'll
you're
be
gonna
at your
scared to
worst.
death, and you're not going to know what's out there. Is that one of my kids? Is that the cat? The dog? You know. Once more, GunslingerAuctions.com. I have against it. All right, welcome back. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to get a phone call here in a minute from our good friend Leon, who I've been trying to get him to call for half an hour. Leon, just call in. He said, are you sure you want me to call? Yes.
Always want you to call in.
Okay, but in the meantime, let's get to Sean in L.A. Sean, what can we do for you?
Hey, good evening, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. How about you?
Just wanted to let you know, good. It was Judge Roger T. Benitez who threw out the Billy Club.
That does not surprise me at all. Mm-hmm.
So,
good man.
I wish you would spend more time getting out other ones than that one, but a win is a win.
A win is a win.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for 100 years.
Well,
Figure it out.
Yeah, that is crazy. I wonder if you could carry a sap. You know what a sap is?
Yeah.
You know, it's a
leather wrapped lead shot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting old time cop stuff.
I had my first year as a deputy sheriff, and now it's a felony. You can't have it. Even policemen can't have it.
Wow.
It's a assault felony, and it's a pretty serious weapon. It definitely.
Oh yeah.
Jeff's emptying his pockets right now.
Yeah. They even make them in gloves. Believe it or don't, sap gloves. Yeah, the olden days. I used to have an account with a company that used to take in seized stuff from police departments, and they would bring me anytime there was like gun parts, magazines, ammo, and I can't tell you how often we would get some type of sap from this company, and you know it always killed me because they're so cool, and they got to have history. Well-worn leather, you know. This is probably
couple of stains on them.
You know that little pocket on the back of the police officer's pants. Yeah. So, and we always had to take them and put them on the saw and cut them in half. Throw
Effectively
them away.
known as the soft goodnight kiss.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Anyway, Sean, thanks for the info, and we'll talk to you later.
Great hearing
Take
from
care
you.
now. Hey, speaking of, twice this week. Now, my daughter-in-law, who works at I can't think of the name of the place, a restaurant down in off of the 15 and I think it's Temescal Canyon. I can't think of anyway, she works in there at the bar, and she was wearing her Gunslinger T-shirt, and a guy asked her, said, "Hey, do you know those guys?" Well, it's my father-in-law. I love that show. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And then one of our paperwork girls, battery went dead. AAA came out to put a charge on her battery, and again, wearing a Gunslinger shirt, same thing happened. Guy says, "Oh, I listen to that show every week."
Get out!
So
Love it.
I mean,
we got to get some swag.
Yeah,
got to get some swag going.
Well, we do have Gunslinger Auctions T-shirts. We had them at the last auction. I've got T-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies.
Oh yeah, we had them all for the sale.
Yeah, we had them all out. I think we sold 2.
Hey, it's better than none.
That's what a journey of 1,000 miles, baby.
Well,
single
fair enough.
step.
Yeah, one step at a time. All right, let's get to Edward in Riverside. Edward, what can we do for you?
Hi, I enjoy your program. I'm calling from Riverside, and I was listening on KTIE Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was even up that late, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and what I believe was the first hour of your previous week's show came on.
No kidding.
You had Chad Bianco on for a part of the time, and you were talking about some huge quantities of ammunition from a guy that couldn't shoot anymore, and drawers full of handguns and all sorts of things. And I'm wondering if in all of that stuff you acquired any Ruger old armies.
Oh man!
Oh, yeah, we get them all the time.
That's a hard one to find.
I haven't seen one in a long time, and I've been looking every gun store. Oh, there's a gun store. Let's go look, and they never have any.
Mm-hmm.
Got any in the upcoming auctions?
I don't know. Hey, RJ, come in for 1 second, will you? I don't know if we do this time, but I know we had a couple in our last one. We get them fairly regularly.
Now, are you looking for the adjustable sided or
And you know what? I take that back. In the blue, thanks. We liquidated a gun shop from San Diego that is going to be in our May auction, and I know that there was a couple in that. So I'm 95% certain. Thank you, sir. I'm 95% certain that we will have at least one and maybe a couple in our May auction. The catalog for that will be up. Next auction is May 19th, so look for us April. The week of April 19th ish.
And
maybe
those
a
of
little
you
earlier.
wondering what it is, the Ruger Old Army is Ruger made the biggest, toughest, brawniest baddest ass.
Basically, an 1858 Remington.
On
Rugerized.
steroids, yeah, Rugerized. So it's a percussion cap pistol, which means it's a cash and carry pistol.
So, and there's even question on that. For some reason or other, some people believe that ATF made a ruling on it that because it's new, you're supposed to do it.
I've not heard that, but it's
I've heard
a cap
it for
and ball
years.
pistol.
It is cap and ball pistol, and according
Falls
to the,
outside.
Yeah, according
It's
to
a
rules,
non-firearm.
it is considered an antique. So now we'll probably get some phone calls on that. But anyway, I would
Feel free.
check our catalog. Go to gunslingerauctions.com after April 19th, and like I said, our catalog is already done as far as it is describing getting done. All we got to do is get caught up with pictures and stuff, and we should have that up fairly soon.
Yeah, and the catalog is pictures, descriptions, everything on there.
Yeah, I mean we're so
Okay.
busy. Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you bet. Ed.
And do you have any in either of your stores? Probably not, or you'd have told me.
That we definitely do.
They're
not
out of
have.
production, and Ruger has no
Yeah.
plans to make new ones.
Yeah. So
That's too bad. That's
Yeah.
something
Agreed.
we really ought to bring back.
I couldn't agree more. Anyway, thanks for the call. Take care. Hey, you know what? Let's get to our favorite guy in the world. Leon, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing great, guys. You guys are just the best. I'm serious. I'm watching your show. I don't have a TV on. The Oscars are on. You guys surpassed the Oscars.
Oh, look at that. What a ringing endorsement that is.
But I was interesting to find out because I'll speak to you next week. I've got some guns that I brought from North Carolina, where I'm from Antique Guns. And you mean to tell me I've got to register those in California now? I mean, this is crazy, the law. And that's why it's so interesting to listen to your show. You got so much valuable information.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for that.
Yeah. Leon's our cheerleader.
Yeah, I was going to say, as we are his. Now about the window washer fluid on my '78 Corolla.
Don't put plain water in it. You'll be in trouble.
Yeah, there you go. You can't help yourself. You're still helping.
Oh, man.
Well, you guys are great. I love your show. I just can't wait to listen every weekend. Every Sunday I just tune it in, and it's just really a pleasure.
Thank
you, Jeff. You just outstanding job, and you've got a future ahead of you that's second to none. The only show in the entire world of your type. And it's just interesting to find out what's going on. Nobody's ever given this kind of information before. I've given car information for years and motoring. That's been my life. But you've taken it one step, not further than me, but in your field, it's just interesting. And, I was a hunter. Coming from North Carolina, I hunted squirrels and rabbits and had guns. But you've taken it to an area that's just hard to believe.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you for that. You were just the best at what you did. That's all. We're the onlyest.
Well, I did the best because that's all I knew about is I wanted to race cars, I wanted to race boats, I raced motorcycles, I raced airplanes. And the best part, I've lived to talk about it because I've lived on the edge for all my life. And I've loved every minute of it.
You must have had a great view from there, always living on that edge, man.
Well,
That's it. A lot of experience.
Arrowhead is a beautiful place.
Who is the great quote, 5 minutes on a motorcycle is better than 50 years on a sofa?
Well, it's good, and I look forward to being on your show next week. And, I don't want to take away from you with the guns and stuff because it's very information to so many people. This is a spot that nobody really knew the information about this. It's just been, do I do this? Do I do that? The laws and things. And it's so, so interesting. And I'm not saying that to butter you up. I'm serious. This is the greatest information that people who are, firearms and things, guns and things of this nature, it's all metal. And that's been my whole life working around metal objects.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
It's great.
Thanks,
You're just
Liam.
doing a fantastic job.
Well, appreciate it. Thanks. And we're looking forward to next week.
Can't wait.
Are you going to bring George with you?
Well, if you want me to, I'll bring George with me and talk about aviation and stuff. Yeah, I'll do that if you don't mind.
I don't mind, but it's going to be a little crowded in here because
I'm actually going to be in Vegas playing with the Plowboys.
Okay. Well, then we will.
So there
have
will
room.
be room, and I want to talk. Boy, I'm not going to be here. You're killing me. I want to hear about. They're talking about a pilot shortage, so they're talking about using AI pilots. AI pilots for commercial airlines.
I had dinner with him tonight, and I talked to him, and so I'll work that out and get that.
Really?
We look forward to it. George was so excited the last time he was on your show, and I don't want to take any more time because you got lots more information than I have. God bless you guys very, very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
God bless you.
We'll talk to you this week, and we'll see you on air with us next week with the Motor Slinger Show.
Yeah,
3 guys grinning like monkeys
that,
right now.
The Motor Slinger Show.
Bang bang vroom vroom, baby.
Stuff around too.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Leon. We'll talk to you.
Thank you. God bless you guys.
Thank you, sir. You too. Talk to you soon.
It's always so uplifting.
I know. Always fun to talk to Leon.
The best. That's all I got to say.
I thought I heard music. I guess not.
No. I think we have 2 minutes.
Oh, no, there it is. Okay.
Psych.
All right. Well, that was Leon the Motorman. For those of you that live in a cave and have never heard radio before,
A little preview for you.
Yeah. Okay, but this is the Gunslinger Show right here on
the Gunslinger Radio Network,
and we are syndicated.
You better believe it.
We'll be back right after this.
Yeah.
Blue eyes, baby's got blue eyes. When the morning comes, I'll be far away.
Hey there, Grant Stinchfield here. Join me and Jennifer Horn Sunday, April 7th at AM.
Everybody says that, but nobody, I get them and then they just sit. Everybody wanted a T-shirt. I got the T-shirts. And
let's get at least 10 orders. You put your name
like
and
that.
your stuff down.
I like that.
We'll go and order them. Let's get people wanting them, and let's get them out to you.
Kirk Shennewark, what's Leon's favorite squirrel gun?
Call in next week and ask him.
That's a fair question for a Carolina boy, isn't it?
Smile just the curve. That sets everything straight. That's from Fred, too.
What's that?
Fred Mangini put, smile just the curve that sets everything straight.
I use that line to close the show every week, just like Leon, yeah.
Possible name for next week's Gearheads and Gunslingers Radio Network.
Gearheads and Gunslingers.
I like it.
If it's metal, we'll press the pedal.
I got 2 stains on the front of my shirt that I did not notice.
Surprise!
Look, everybody, stains.
We doing a laundry commercial next? What the hell's going on here?
What is really at stake in the presidential election? I can't wait to take it on.
Just in time for the high-def camera. You see your wife. Jeff!
Well, I didn't say you put them there. I just said I got them.
Good to see you, old Bark. Driving down the Cajon grade was always terrifying for me. 80 miles per hour, fender to fender. Yeah.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka sees a role reversal.
And you're going to cut this, you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context.
She tweeted after she became a congresswoman that protests are about making people uncomfortable. Hey, Buttercup, how does it feel now?
Squirrels are just little clowns. Leave them be. No, they're free-tailed rats, Melissa. I'm sorry. Hoppies and Valvoline. That's the oil slingers. This is pretty strong.
I like it.
The God part is actually more of a difference than the Messiah.
Dennis Prager's been on this overlooked thing about the Bible with Jordan Peterson. It's online and through Media Plus, and because he's a devout Jew and all that, and it's a very good conversation. Very, very fun.
But what will Pastor Alan Jackson have to say about it? Find out at this year's Ask a Jew, Ask a Christian, Tuesday, March 12th at Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch with our
Hey, thanks to everyone for commenting so much. Make sure you share when you get the chance. Helps us out a lot.
Tell your friends, tune in.
Especially next week. Tell your motor friends. Come on.
Hey, Marianne Walker putting her money where the mouth is. How about I want a Gunslinger T-shirt? How do I get one? And how much do they cost? You're gonna have to start a side hustle there.
They're $10, and
you can't buy a T-shirt for $10.
That's what they cost me. I'm not making anything on them.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to get 4 tickets for this, by the way. The Sing in Ontario. So the 3 of us and Kathy are going to try. We'll see.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I left a free dinner.
The KRLA Conservative Summit. Don't miss out. AM 870. The Answer.
Oh man, you got them all in now.
I'm telling you.
Take the last train to Clarksville and I'll meet you at the station. You can be here by 4:30 'cause I've made your reservation. Don't be slow. Oh no no no.
We all knew it.
Oh no no no.
So, guess who happens to be a gun fan? The one and only. The guy that was just singing, not me.
No kidding.
I'm at the Costa Mesa gun show. This is about 5 years ago. And he walks up and he's got a hat down and he's trying to be low key, you know. And I get it. And before he was a monkey, he was on a show called Circus Boy.
I remember that.
Whoa.
Toby. No, not Toby Tyler. Yeah.
Toby Tyler was something else.
That could be something else. Sorry.
Anyway, so
young.
here I am at my table, and we're just taking off the, because we're just open, and he walks by, and I go, "Hey, Circus Boy." And he looked up at me, and his eyes got that big. He goes, "That was cool." Go figure.
Good call.
Well, I'm sure he gets inundated with silly,
Yes.
60s monkey stuff, but you got a kick out of getting being called Circus Boy.
Circus Boy.
Okay.
I've been called that before.
Let's get to Patcham in Chino. Patcham, what can we do for you?
Hey.
Hey, I have a question. So you guys know that I do the competitive shooting. I've had questions and answers before, but I got something new. I want to swap out the hammer in my GW2 for something maybe a little bit longer. Is that going to give me an edge if everything's lined up and equal? Because in my head, the firing pin gets there quicker than everybody else's.
Okay, well, first off, let's explain what we're talking about. A GW2 is a Great Western 2. This is a single action, John Wayne cowboy type gun. And
what we compete with.
Yes.
Yeah, what we compete with. And what is it you're wanting to do with it?
I want to make it faster because I shoot competitively like you guys do. I just do the wax instead of the real bullet.
Okay, so you're talking for fast draw.
Yes.
Okay.
So in my head, I'm thinking if all the guns are lined up on the line and they're all equal, but if my firing pin is a little longer, is it going to get to the bullet quicker without diffling the primer and blowing it back on me?
Well, that's your problem. See, when you put a longer firing pin, you're likely to
pierce the primer.
Yeah, you're only supposed to dent the primer, but when you pierce the primer, you got all kinds of other issues. That thing will back up, lock up your gun, do all kinds of nasty, horrible. It will spit out at you.
That's what he's afraid
and
of.
believe it or not, when people shoot, they always think, lead poisoning, and they get it from reloading and stuff. But your primer will actually put more lead into you than any other part of that bullet. And
so there is actually an answer, but it may not be the answer. It's kind of counterintuitive. A lot of people like to lighten up the actions so they get the hammer back faster. But what does a softer spring do?
Makes it slower.
So what you might consider doing is beefing up the mainspring.
Yeah, beefing up the mainspring.
We have a couple of top fast draw artists who listen to the show and participate. Cal wants to come on the show. It'd be great to have him.
Quick Cal?
Yeah, he wants to come on the show.
Sure.
Let's get him.
Okay.
That will answer those sorts of questions because this guy's a multiple-time world champion.
Yeah, who's
I know who Quick Cal is. I shoot in his program.
I've known Cal for 26 years. Yeah,
Good guy, real good shooter.
He used to be a cowboy action shooter also.
Yep.
I mean, he's been quick Cal and with the fast draw forever, but he stopped shooting. Oh, boy, I haven't seen him in at least 10 years.
Well, he's still interested. He reached out to the show and asked about being on it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him on.
Let's get him on.
Yeah. Who was the other one?
Lassiter. Lassiter's a multiple-time world champion.
That's true. I have no problem with having it.
That'd be fun to have, again, another discipline, fun to talk about. But all the questions like that, that's a real good inside question.
Yeah. As far as a longer one, I don't think it would work out the way you're thinking. I think, honestly, it's always the simplest solution, more practice.
Honestly.
More practice, more just work. How do you get to Broadway?
Practice.
Well, Patrick, you've been doing this for a long while. Like, say, competitively, where do you sit?
Yeah, what's your good time?
Right now, well, for me, I can do under a half a second, but I do it with the 7.5 long barrel.
Oof. Oh, okay. Well,
already.
You got a hacksaw?
Yeah, there's the first thing you might want to think.
You're
about.
looking for, because you're talking about real milliseconds, which matter.
Yeah, and again, like everything gun related, as far as competition, there are going to be stipulations and rules, and you can have to have a certain length barrel, you have to have a certain length hammer. Your hammer pull, trigger pull can only be so much, and so on. So you were talking about a longer hammer too. Or were you just talking about the firing pin?
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I meant the firing pin,
just
the
longer
firing pin. But that does not sound like it's a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would. On top of which, when you lengthen it, it's going to put it coming down at a little bit of a different angle, and you may be piercing through the top as opposed to the center.
Unreliable ignition, and the idea of the hammer sticking in a primer.
Which I've had that happen with some old ammo and a regular hammer, and it's a pain. I mean, all kinds of terrible things can happen when that does. So
I'd be pretty tempted to go to a 4 3/4 barrel.
Yeah, go to a 4 3/4 barrel and maybe play with your mainspring just a little bit. Maybe just make it a tiny bit stronger so that hammer
it'll
snaps.
Accelerate the hammer faster.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the mainspring, but I'm going to stick with the 7.5 because I'm a shootist. So, we have categories.
Got it.
Yep. Okay. Well,
it worked. It worked for Matt Dillon.
Yeah, and that's why I shoot classic cowboy. Same reason. It's
that's where I want to play.
Yeah, it's slower than the two-handed shooting, but it just happens to be the way I like it. So there you go. Okay. Hey, Patcham, thanks for the call.
No problems.
Always great hearing from you.
Hey, you know what? We got a lady caller. Let's get to Karen in Diamond Bar. Karen, what can we do for you?
Hi there, and I want to just say I really like your show.
Thank you.
I'm a member of the CRPA.
Good on you.
And I just want to know, are there equivalent organizations in the other states, and also particularly Arizona, now that you've added that state, would it be possible to get the person over there to kind of tell us what's going on, just to see, keep us abreast of what's going on?
Well, there's a rifle and pistol association, I would imagine, in
just about any state.
Yeah, just about it. I know that New York has one because the Braun decision came
out of New York.
Yeah, it came out of New York. So I would imagine just about every state's got to have one. And that's kind of an interesting idea. We've been saying this forever. We should pull together as opposed to fighting individually all over the place.
Well, when Rick was on, he did mention
going to Colorado.
They're going to Colorado, but there's also a website he did mention. It's Two-Way LC, I think, or CL.
Second Amendment.
Second Amendment, and I think they are the nationwide
clearinghouse
search engine for your local. So if you go back, if I can find it back in here, I'll go ahead and try to mention it or post it up on one of the links. But yeah, there should be something local for you.
It's so funny though too. You look things up on the internet, and they're going to give their spin.
Oh.
I want to hear it from the gun lover side.
Well, absolutely. So that, and then Rick wouldn't proclaim anything that wasn't. So I'd like to go and find. that for
CRPA
you.
is a good resource, though.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to direct you somewhere from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
they said you can contact him directly.
Yeah, crpa.org
I also thought maybe it'd be nice to know kind of where we compare California versus Arizona. It would probably be of interest to your Arizona crowd as well.
Very likely.
Absolutely.
And I believe California is rated the worst state in the union as far as firearms. Yeah. So
No surprise there.
No,
I think Hawaii's coming
like
close,
I say every week, liberalism or leftism or wokeism, whatever you want to call this, it's a mental disorder, and it's spreading.
It's like a fungus.
And if we don't stop it here, everything that's happening. I mean, this zombie bill, as we've been calling it for years, because it
Spread
kept
into
getting
Colorado.
killed and kept coming back. Now it's going to Colorado. So all my friends in Colorado, Phantom, this is a friend of ours that's got a gun shop over there in Colorado.
Left California.
Yeah, left here to go be there, and now he's going to be dealing with the same stuff we're already dealing with. So
the shadow of California falls on all states,
so
man.
stop throwing rocks at us from behind our backs, folks. Get out here and help us.
We're punching.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, Karen, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
You bet. Take care.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think we got just enough time. I like this call. This is Ron from Glendale. Ron, what can we do for you?
Hey, good evening, Gunslinger guys. Really, really, really love your show.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I was calling to say I've been on your website, watch your website on a daily basis. When are we going to expect to see the itinerary or the inventory for your May 18th show?
Next catalog, we put it up just about 1 month prior. We've tried, we could literally put it up this week if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But if you put it up too early, people forget and then they stop bidding. And so we found that right around 30 days prior. So May 19th is the next one. So about April 19th, right in there.
Fantastic. Well, I'm pumped. I want to check that out. By the way,
Thanks,
I was at your last auction, first-time auction guy. I went down and checked it out. What a great experience that was.
Thank you.
Ended up picking up a couple of items.
Yeah.
I could have certainly bought many, many more because there were so many neat things. But I just got to say, what a great experience that was. The paperwork, and I've bought and purchased multiple firearms and other vendors, and you got to wait there for 30, 40 minutes in line like you're getting a deli sandwich. But I got to tell you, I came in and it was so seamless and such a wonderful. I literally was maybe in your shop to pick up for maybe 15 minutes. If that could have stayed longer and talked, but what a seamless experience. It's a great show. I'm looking forward. I'll be at your next one in May and saving up some shekels so I can make some new purchases.
There you go.
Can't wait to
We
see
approve
you
all
there.
of that.
Thank you, sir. And that
All
would
right.
Be sure to say hi.
Right on. Love your show, guys.
Thank you, sir. Take
Thanks,
care.
Ron.
Well, that was a nice phone call.
That was real nice.
This is, but in fairness, you've been doing the auctions for how many years now?
Over 20.
Over 20 years, and this is a refined, polished act. I mean, there's no question about it.
Couldn't agree more.
Honed to a fine point.
Or something like that. All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on right here on the
Gunslinger Radio Network.
I think I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after this. Phone calls, call us. Hey, Jeff from Gunslingers Gun Shops here. If you want to buy, sell, or trade a firearm, come to GunslingerAuctions.com to learn how.
Pistols, rifles, high-tech, and military
Our bumper that they play throughout the week for the show is tune in this week to hear the one, the only Leon the Motorman.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Pimp the hell out of that thing. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to be here because of the St. Patrick's Day thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's my Christmas.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of important.
Be playing for 10,000 people.
Woo! Wow.
At the biggest Irish festival this side of the Mississippi.
Wow.
Anderson, Nevada. I know.
That's awesome.
We're in our last segment.
Yeah.
May 19th, go to GunslingerAuctions.com. GunslingerAuctions.com. That's GunslingerAuctions.com.
We come on the sloop, John B.
One of my favorite songs.
Grandfather and me. Around Nassau town we did roam.
got into a fight. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home.
All right.
Bring it in.
Yeah, well, and
So-
of course, we always
and-
end the show with a Beach Boy song, and that is for Leo. All right. Okay, we got, we're in our last segment already. You believe this?
The fastest 2 hours on radio, baby.
It used to be the fastest hour. And I don't know, how did we ever do this for an hour?
How do we squeeze all this show into 1 hour?
We kept saying this has got to be bigger. It was like a box we were busted to get out of.
Apparently
Well, I know
so.
you're dying to talk about the new Ruger 45 LC carbine.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's so close, you guys.
Out at End of Trail, where we were last week, Ruger had a big display, and I grilled those guys, and I kept telling them, look, I'm Gunslinger Auctions. We get the Marlin Camp 9 in.
And they go nuts.
And they sell nicely. They get $700, $800, $900 pretty much regularly. But if we get a Camp 45 in, Katie bar the door, because it's going over $2,000 every time. And their eyes all just went ping, ping, ping. And it's like, yeah,
You
it's
guys
a
ought to
grand.
listen to the ground once in a while.
This isn't a home run, guys. This is a grand slam. You make that PC 9 a PC 45,
Easy.
and you got a shooter, man.
Oh, man.
And with that direct blowback design,
Yep.
there's a guy in there somewhere in your engineering staff who knows how to do the engineering, put the metal together. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. I'll buy one.
Yeah, let's get to Craig in Anaheim. Craig, how are you?
Hey, Jeff, Gunslingers, how you doing?
Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
What can we do for you?
Put the Colt forum on the internet, and mostly single action armies because of cowboy shooting, because I'm Big Jake, 1001.
Right.
There's a guy who died, had a big gun collection. His son, who's an accountant, knows nothing about guns, so he's constantly posting pictures and asking questions of what these guns are worth. Well, he's got two left. One's an 1880 Frontier six-shooter, 4440. And I'm not really interested in it, maybe, but not really. Too much wrong with it. But the other one is a nice Colt Bisley, 1910, that was a 3220. I don't know the barrel length, because now somebody's converted the cylinder with inserts that shoots 22 long rifle, and they put a Marlin micro groove rifle barrel turned down to fit probably 10, 11 inches long on this gun. And everybody's boo-hooing it, saying not worth anything. So I'm thinking about buying it, because I do have an original Colt Bisley 44 or 3220 4 3/4 inch barrel and the cylinder. I'm wondering if it's a feasible thing to do.
Just
to buy something and back to factory.
reassembling it, basically.
Yeah.
You know a guy that knows how to unscrew a barrel? Because the rest
that?
is, if you know a guy that knows how to unscrew a barrel, the rest is just dropping in parts, yeah? Of course, you'd have to line
Yeah,
everything
friend
up.
of mine has a barrel vice, so it's just wondering if it's a feasible project. Have you ever seen a Bisley that's converted to 22 long rifle?
No, I haven't, but I've seen a lot of crazy things over the years. We got in a Smith & Wesson number 3 that had been converted to 22, and fully engraved and gold inlaid with a smooth bore. You know what that means?
Wow.
Yeah, this means that this was a trick shooting gun that likely shot.
You could use a rat shot in it, yeah.
Yeah, to shoot things a little easier when in shooting in front of a crowd. I ended up, that came from a really cool collection. I'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, if you get the right price on it,
yeah,
I don't
and
see
you
a
have
problem
parts.
with it. Yeah, and
Jeez.
you've got the frame and everything. You put it back to original. It deserves it.
Yeah, it's no
Straight
collector
up.
value as is. I might even shoot it, just have fun with a 22 for a while, plinker. But I would probably convert it, and it's just something I'm toying with. So
You'll need to do a little bit of gunsmithing to get the timing right if you're going to shoot it.
It bothers me a lot that somebody's doing this and selling them this away. Bring them to, you don't have to bring them to me, but bring them to an accredited auction house and get the real money. Folks, when you bring something to an auction, you and the auction house become partners.
Yes.
And the more you make, the more they make. So it behooves them to try and get as much money as possible for that stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think he's just going to sell it through what is it? One of those gun auction places, the big one that you see all the time.
Yeah.
I even forget the name of it because I don't buy anything off of it.
Yeah, understood. Okay, well, this isn't our old friends collection, is it?
No.
Oh,
no.
good. Okay.
No.
All right.
It's something that I just saw on the Colt forum. It was probably 50, 60 guns, but now they're down to 2 left, and
Yeah.
he said he's just going to put them on gunauctions.com or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought if they would sell it to me personally, I would buy it. If I have to go onto the auction to bid, I mean, I might get it even cheaper there. It draws no interest.
Yeah.
That would save me money.
It's been bubbed pretty bad.
That's
so.
that's bubbed.
All right. Hey, Craig, thanks for calling. And let me know on that collection whenever that gets worked out.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you go through an auction, you're actually finding people looking for it, not just people stumbling upon it.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick for instance. A couple of guys come in yesterday, and a pot passed, and they had decided to sell. And what happens is the friends come over. Oh, your husband promised to sell me this gun, and it's all a piece of junk. I told him I'd give him $200. He said, oh yeah, absolutely. And then the poor wife goes, oh, okay, if that's what. And then she sells the Colt Python for $200. And
Let me take it off your hands.
Yeah, this happens so often. What I tell them when they call me is, if you've got people or family or stuff and you're afraid and you don't, here's what you do. Get them into us and then tell them they're in the auction. Feel free to bid along with everybody else.
Right.
If you're willing to pay a fair price for them, like you just said, you're willing to go with the auction and try and get them that away.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And it's as transparent as can be. You can see the whole process the whole way.
Our number one rule is we take care of widows as absolutely best as possible.
Yep.
That's been since day one, and that is never going to change. Oh, man. Woo! Yeah, I mean, we got a few minutes left, but holy cow.
Wow, fastest 2 hours, folks.
Yeah, and again, May 19th, guys, it's right around the corner. And if you've got stuff, you're okay, this is my week. Tomorrow, I'm heading out to Encino and picking up a collection. I started to talk about the two guys that brought in, I'll finish this real fast. So the two guys come in, and they'd been selling guns for like 4 years because there was about 200 to begin with. They came in with 25, and you talk about just picked through. And then they came in and they were hoping to get this large amount for them, and it's just like, guys,
unrealistic expectation.
It's that's just not going to happen for you. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just not. And because you guys got picked over, and you when you take a large collection into any place, your best stuff is going to get sold, and it will sell fairly quick. Problem is you're always going to have some.
Couple of high point carbines.
Yeah, and
some leftovers.
Yeah, and those things will sit for years. And I mean, I'm not kidding, years. Yeah, before COVID, at the Glendora store, we had over 500 guns in stock, and we had guns in there that we had for since probably our 6th month of being open. The ever famous Marlin Goose gun, which is a bolt action 12 gauge with a 42-inch barrel.
Yeah, that was bananas.
Yeah, or as I call it, the satellite shooter. Yeah, and this thing is such a dog, but it sold. We went from over 500 in stock to, I think,
we had one pistol left at one time, and then that got sold out, and then we had, I think, 3 long guns left.
Yeah, that were just the bottom of the barrel stuff.
Not even the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
It's what you stack the barrel on top of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you melt them down and make them into something else. But anyway, and they ended up. We at one point had absolutely nothing left.
Yeah.
Nope.
And every day we were getting
weird time, man.
Oh man! As good as it was for my pocketbook, I don't ever want to see it like that again. That was that was horrifying because of some of the people that were coming in.
And just seeing the fear in people's eyes in that way, it was just
4'10", 60-year-old woman looking at a Sig Sauer 1911,
right? Because the Lithuanian nun looking at SKSs and insisting that have the bayonet.
Yes, right.
I hope to never see anything like that again. That was unbelievable. A line around the building 1.5 times for weeks.
For weeks.
And we would get Galen to go outside and like what are you looking for? We don't have it. What are you looking for? No, we're out. What are you looking for? Yeah, try and get people.
I'm just here for ammo.
Yeah, and that was right when that stupid ammo law hit.
Yep.
And we had that stack. It was 20 feet long and 6 feet tall of ammo waiting for this stupid ammo bill.
The ammo check.
Yeah, the ammo
Two things
bill.
real quick. I want to nail these things down. Number one, with the auction coming up, is it okay if you just... I know the album, the photo album won't be out till a month before, but you can drop a periodic
absolutely
hint of some of the coming attractions.
We are right in the middle of putting everything for May auction out on the floor. So there won't be anything put out. Everything will be out in racks or out in the display cases.
So you'll have access to all of that information, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, come on down.
I don't remember what the other thing was.
I get that all the time. Yeah.
Really glad to be here. Why am I holding these oranges?
Yeah, that's me. I get up and go into the bathroom. I was like, what was I going to do?
Especially on the way to the bathroom.
I was going to say kitchen, but that's an easy one. I have no idea what I was going to do in that kitchen.
Well, before we go out, I just want to make sure that we thank everyone on all of our streams on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook Live. You guys, thank you guys for being there and all your comments. Please make sure that you guys share this with your friends. Drop a like on any of those streams. But no, thank you guys. You guys are the best audience in the
Tell
world.
everybody. Listen in. We'll see you guys next week with the one, the only, Leon the Motor. And as Leon always says, folks, don't forget to smile. It's just a little curve that sets everything straight. All right. Thanks, Leon. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Love you guys. God bless you.
Till we meet again. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
This program was sponsored by the Gunslinger Shops.
Get the AM 870 The Answer app now at the App Store or Google Play.
Give your child or grandchild a quality private education with solid